Passing. I'm going to warn you right now that the passing section is very extensive and long. The reason is that 70 to 80% of what we do during a game is passing, especially on the upper levels. We want to cover each side of the foot, long balls, short balls, high balls, driving balls, and even bending passes. So be patient and take your time with this section. Some of what you'll see in this section can be repetitive, but we wanted to show you the same training in different areas. We wanted you to see it in different levels with different age players and in different settings. That's when passing training takes place. It typically happens within an exercise and we review it over and over, little by little. Players will always go back to their natural instinct and what they've been taught or what their body knows. Passing has to be learned over and over again. We're going to start by passing, and we're going to work with the basic pass. Well, what's the most basic pass you can think of? Come on, speak up. Inside of the foot? Inside of the foot, okay? Some people call it a push pass. It's really an inside of the foot. Push pass, we're going to learn the difference between a punch pass and a push pass with the inside of the foot. But the first thing we have to do is we have to learn that when we do the inside of the foot kick, we can't do what? We can't just have the ball here and then do this. And that's what almost every single, especially youth player, does. They start with the ball here and then they bring their leg back and they kick it. Leg is loose, ankle is loose. And what we're going to do is some of us know the soccer hop. And what we're going to do is we're going to have busy feet. We're going to come in, we're going to hop and load. So it's really a step. It's not over exaggerated. We're just looking at the ball. Our toe is going to point where we want the ball to go. We're going to hop, and in one motion, not two, as soon as we hop, our leg comes back and this leg goes next to the ball at the same time. It's not a hop and then load. It's one motion, hop and load. Now, what position is our foot in when it reaches the back, Ryan? Target. So when I'm back, hop and load, my foot is already aimed at what? Target, exactly. So if I'm aiming over here, when I come in, I see my target and I immediately go back down to ball. Ball, peek, ball. So I ball, peek at my target, back down, come in, and my foot is already aimed at the target. And it comes through at the target and follows through at the target. We don't do bring it back like this, then come through and turn it. Or we don't bring it back, hit it, and then let it swing across. We want to have a target loaded right at that target, stare at the ball, strike at target, follow through at target. If you do all three, load at target, strike at target, follow through at target, where's the only place it can go? Target. Everyone try it. Ready? Get busy feet. And it's a hop and load at the same time. Ready? Hop and load. Now hold it. Again, do it and hold it. Ready? Busy feet, hop and load at the same time. Good. Now, one thing I want you to understand about your leg is when we do inside of the foot, the hip turns out, the thigh is facing where? Target. Thigh is facing the target. So we're going to rotate our hip. We're going to let our thigh go towards the target as well as the inside of our foot. We're going to hit the ball with the meat portion of it and let everything go towards it as much as possible. Will the thigh and leg eventually sort of turn a little bit? Yeah, but we're going to fight it as long as we can because we're locked. Boom, all the way through. Okay, now let's go ahead. Let's do the soccer hop. Pretend we have a ball there. And I want to lock, I want to hop, and then follow through. Ready, go. Good. Now do it in one motion. Here, imitate what I do. Go. Go. Good. Again, one more time. Excellent. Again. Good. Now, Nick, you're new to this, so what we're going to do is when I've watched you over the past couple of weeks, I've noticed that you have a tendency to come to a ball, and if a ball comes to you, you have a tendency to just sort of hit it. But this is the motion I want you to get used to. A hop and load. Now, if a ball's coming towards me, what do I have to do? Load early, right? Because a ball's coming quick. So, Morgan, what I want you to do, stand over there near that cone, and I want you to just roll the ball to me like that. I'm in the path, I can kick. Now did I load way too early? Yeah. Is that okay? Sure. Do it again to me. I'm gonna get right in its target. Look at that. Did I mess up? No. Because I get in line, go ahead, load early. The problem happens when you load late. Pass it to me. And when you load late with an inside of the foot, what usually happens is what? The ball goes up. Because we don't have any downward motion. And we come down on the ball and follow through flat as long as possible. So if I don't load, that's what we see. And that's what we usually see, especially as we get older and advanced. Our passes go from 3 touches down to what? When we're in the field? 1 or 2, exactly. It's fast. You guys are playing at a fast level. When you hit collegiate here in 6 weeks, you guys will be really speeding it up. High school, we really start. That's probably when in high school you guys started really working on one-touch movement, right? That's mainly when you guys started doing that kind of stuff. That's when it gets emphasized more. When you get to college, the game speeds up. Faster decisions, faster passes, one touch. Well, how can you do a one-touch pass if you have your foot down? You can't. So pass to me again, boom, I'm looking, no one behind me, boom, pass and I'm ready. Ball, peak, ball. I see the ball coming, peek my defense, boom, ball, peak, ball. So now what I want you to do is I want you guys to work on perfect form. As the ball comes to you, we're going to do slow push passes. The first thing you do is what? Prepare. As soon as you see the ball coming, get in front of the ball. That's what you two do, okay? When the ball comes, immediately get in front of the ball and prepare to do a nice pass back. Go ahead and start. Step into it, smooth. Step into it, smooth. Even slower, Nick. I really want to see you watch that ball and let your foot. I want to see you see your foot strike the ball. Keep your eye on that position. Go. Perfect. Smoother, nice and slow. Now that was perfect. That was perfect. Do it again. Go ahead. Smooth. When your foot is back, good. Let's work on the weight of the pass. That's what we're going to do. We're going to start in close, and I'm going to turn a little bit sideways. We're going to work sideways. Soft, back to me. Soft, back to me. Let's do one touches. Now, the ball is only allowed to roll to the person. It can only go as far as me. Then what we're going to do is when I say step, we're going to take 1, 2 steps back. When you hear me say step, you're going to step 2 steps away from each other. Same thing, ball just to their feet. Okay? Start in close, real close, and start. Slow. Rachel, you got to load. Everyone's got to load. So that means you got to be slow ball. through the cones. Don't worry about the player, just put it through the center of the cones. We don't always pass to a player. There are a lot of times when we're in soccer, we pass to what? Space. We don't necessarily pass at the player. So now what we're doing is we're passing through the center. We want to make him move to the ball. Move in, and I want to see short little passes. Get closer, closer, pass, 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 closer. You two guys are okay. Nick and Ryan, you're fine. Back up. Back up. My fault, sorry. Back up. Run in, run in, back up. Let's talk about the feel of that session. What were we sort of working on there? Someone say something. Give me something that you felt. The weight of the pass, speed of the pass, positioning. In other words, when I come in, if I'm moving in, as I'm coming forward, I know I have to be able to adjust. When I'm really close, I can still load and get a good smooth pass the same way I can do it long. This is a great drill that you can go back and forth, and understand that speed of the pass. Adjustments while you're moving. Adjustments while you're moving. Eventually, we would get to the point, if I didn't want to make you sweat too bad today, that we would actually spread the whole field out. We would eliminate the cones, and we'd start in at 3 feet, and we'd run back all the way across the field, inside a foot, and come back all the way inside of the foot. I want you to notice something about the passing of this session. These are all collegiate level players, and their passes are smooth and on the ground. This is what we're trying to accomplish. An inside of the foot pass, whenever possible, should be smooth and on the ground and not up in the air. It's a prepared motion. You're ready for it, and you're smooth through the center of the ball and forward. Another mistake we make, go ahead, is we don't step through with our inside of the pass. So go ahead and pass it to me. We stop. Go again. We stop. We stop. What we have to learn to do is go ahead, through. We have to go through. It's hard on one touch, small one touch. So don't kick this back to me, just receive it. So go ahead and pass me it. Through. Go ahead again. Through. It's that little motion of I'm going through versus pass to me versus stopping up. Stopping up versus through. I believe the first thing you have to do is train players how to get every single pass firm, the right pace, and every single pass on the ground. Because what ruins a wall pass play? A bad pass, a bouncing ball. A bouncing ball that now has to be controlled. If every single pass in the soccer game was low, firm, and on the ground, that'd be an amazing game. Now, let's take some of what we've learned and put it into more of a game-like setting. We're going to add the feeling of trying to keep balls on the ground with movement all at the same time. You're going to pass the ball to me, not yet. You're going to pass the ball to me. I'm going to one-touch it to you. When I one-touch it to you, that should be your signal to shift. I'm now open. I'm showing for the ball, and then you pass back to him. So let's try that one step. You're going to show, he's going to show, stop. Now you're going to pass it back to me. I'm going to pass it back to you. And as soon as I touch it, what do? Show. but we're going to come back to center after we show and pass, back to center. Turn, Morgan. Now, when I say show, I want you to show just slightly, not big. Morgan, you don't move except to turn around. Think back in regular play and practices when you're doing wall passes, how many of those, after you fed it, were a bad pass that you had to control that were bouncing? A lot of them, because it's a fast, quick play. And that's what we're focusing on here. If we can do just simple angle, return, one touches, but we learn that it's smooth to us, the whole game is a different game. You'll see that at different levels. When you go from a middle school to a high school to a collegiate, the game starts to lower and it starts to smooth out. You have to learn how to pass hard, receive hard, but you can do that only typically with fastballs on the ground. Go up to the professional, the MLS, the Premier Leagues, watch the balls and watch the passes. Really focus on it and watch how they grow on the grass. Watch how smooth they are. They're absolutely smooth, and that's how they can take a ball that's traveling 35, 40 miles an hour, pass, touch, turn, and they're in. What we've seen is that you can experiment with this, and if I wanted to do a long pass and try and keep it low but with power, you can go ahead and strike the ball. It's probably, if you hit it hard, it's going to start a little bit high, but once it hits the ground, because it has a forward spin, that ball is going to start to grab and kill its bounce. That's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to strike it directly in the middle, allow your foot to continue directly through the ball and through. That'll put it on a direct straight path without friction from the ground right here or without lift from your foot. So now the ball is going to shoot just like a bullet out of a barrel. It's going to shoot out dead straight. There's no other effect from the ground or from your foot because everything is straight. The other way to do this, now I can also play with what happens if I strike down on the ball. I strike down on the ball as I'm going through and I put backspin on it. Well, what'll happen is if I have a defender, if I have to shoot through traffic, this is a great little kit because I have close-in traffic and I want to go ahead and get that ball through the traffic quickly, but then I've got a guy way out there that I don't want him to have to try and control a 35-mile-an-hour ball. So when I do this, I can go ahead and I can strike down on it. It'll shoot through traffic quickly, but it has backspin, and it'll go boop, 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 and slow down. It's a great little pass. So this seems very, very detailed and scientific, but it is. I mean, that's what the flight of a ball is. There are those little teeny differences that we do with the strike of the ball make a difference. If I want to do a bending pass, if I want to bend a pass, which we cover, I want to go ahead and I want to strike the ball here, allow my foot to create torque on the ball will spin, and the ball will spin around a defender. So all those manipulations of the ball, everything that we do with it, even with the inside of the foot, I strike down to put backspin, I strike dead through for a bullet pass, no effect from anything else, or I strike up and put forward spin, and that'll be a long fast ball. The ball will continue its speed longer. If I strike down, the ball is going to have backspin, it's going to start fast, and then it's going to slow down. 3 different ways to strike the ball. All can be controlled low though.